Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's trick. Today we'll be presenting, a very fancy and very practical trick that can basically not be punished if your opponent plays correctly. So let's take a look at how we set it up. A lot of times, these days with AI and stuff, our opponent likes to play this 016 two-space extension. So against this, you might have the question, how do I deal with this? What are some of the follow-ups that I can play in the corner and stuff like that? So we'll take a look at one of the very good way that you can deal with this two-space extension. That is for you to attach right now. So you might be looking at this and like, man, are you drunk? Like, is this an actual move? Like, how can this possibly be a move? Well, it turns out this is a great move. This is an excellent trick, right? In the previous tricks sections, a lot of tricks comes with a bit of risk, comes with a bit of costs, right? But this one is actually a very legit move, which is also very tricky. Let's look at how black deals with this. If black extends towards the corner, we can just jump. Black turns, and then we can extend ourselves like this. This is how exactly you play as white. And this is already a bad result for black. Let's see why. Let's play it in a different order. Let's assume white plays this one right now. Instead of playing active moves like pincer, black decides to play this weird and passive Kosumi. This exchange is already good for white. The next exchange is also good for white. This Q16 stone has value because it's outside stone, but this R17 stone doesn't really have any value, right? So it doesn't add value to the corner. It's a useless stone. And then we played a legit move that is to extend ourselves. So this is a great outcome for white already in terms of comparison of efficiency. This is excellent for white. So that's one way for black to fall for the trick. That is to extend towards the inside. You might be asking, well, what about extending towards the outside? White can extend towards the inside right now. Black needs to turn here, and then white will get the corner. This is also an excellent result for white because he gets the corner in Sente. And then there's a weakness over here that black needs to worry about. If black pressures the corner, we can just defend. And then this problem is always there. So right, if you play out this one, immediately I can drag the stone out. And then both of your groups are so insecure, and this will be a very good game moving on for white. If black fixed the problem, well, obviously we're really fast in terms of speed. So let's say we play out a standard Joseki in the corner. This is great for us. We have 4 corners and black only has 1 side. So excellent position for white to be in. So both extending towards the inside and the outside are not going to work. So let's look at what if black harness. When black harness, white will crosscut. Very aggressive move. So this is actually the correct continuation for both sides. Here, black has 2 choices, right? So let's look at some moves that won't work. So if you extend this direction, obviously huge problems, right? This stone got hurt, and white is just leading. So 2 choices for black. One good way to deal with this is to extend at P17. And the correct follow-up is for white to Atari and then crawl once more. Black will Atari, and then white will flip Atari here. And the reason for you to not connect as white is that when black extends, you have to live on the second line, right? So if you want to live, this is how you need to play. So black got a huge outside and a sente, white only has all his stone on the second line. This explains why white will choose to flip Atari here. When black captures, here, very important, you really want to play this move, but this is not the best move because now black can pincer. After you comfortably exchange this, white still does not have eye space, right? White still needs to worry about the group. So a better way for you to play is to make a route immediately, make you a base so you won't be attacked anymore. And later on, we can play this Atari, right? So that's a good way for white to continue, and obviously black can keep playing elsewhere. So this is an equal game moving on for both sides. I personally like white. I think white is very efficient. He's very fast, and more importantly, he got rid of black's moyo, right? So that's pretty good. So if you don't like complication, go ahead and play out p17. This is an excellent move. But if you want to fight, you can Atari at a q15. White will extend, and black needs to protect the corner. White will turn here, and now the ladder is very important. You have to have this ladder for white. Otherwise, this is game over. So we cannot ladder. Black needs to connect. And now white cuts, right? Looking for more complication. Black has now two choices. If he Ataris in the corner, this is also falling into a trap. So white will extend at p14. So this stone is in danger. If he does this, white can extend into the corner. Black needs to kill these two stones. White will turn. This is a sente, otherwise we'll Atari and capture the entire group. Black needs to kill the stones there. And now white has a very good move, that is to play the q14. This is putting max pressure onto black. Black needs to get out. So the best way for he to keep playing, and then pretty much forcing, it's a forced way for him to play, is to connect here, right? So if he decides to counterattack, well, that would be a very disastrous result for him. So black cannot counterattack. He needs to connect right now. And then white can comfortably make the tiger's mouth, and after this exchange, black needs to come back and kill white's corner. White will put up a struggle and squeeze black. So black needs to play this one, and then we hane, and then black kills the corner, and white can get a sente and play r6. The result of this is black got 15 points in the corner. Remember that black started with 2 stones in the corner, and now black has 15 points and a little bit influence towards the left side. However, white got a thick wall towards the bottom side as well as the r6 approach. So this is a very favorable game for white moving on. Because of how efficient white is and how much value white's wall has. Excellent continuation for white. So what was the mistake? Well, the mistake is to not Atari at R18, is to Atari at O18, right? So we need to play correctly as black. White will extend. Here, a lot of times, I think pretty much more than half of my viewers would probably settle for something like this, right? It looks all very, very comfortable, and then we can fix our corner. It might look really good to you visually. How black, we might be thinking that black is doing super well when he really isn't doing so well. Once again, black started with a 2-space extension formation. Black now has some territory, but when white turns here, black immediately feels the pressure. So not only white has a lot of value towards the left side with this thickness, but also, let's say black tries to work on the right side. White has a very, very good AI approved invasion point, that is to play at R12. So this is looking for problems, right? So white will extend here and then check. When white cuts, black is in huge trouble. These two groups pretty much has one of them has to be given up. So so probably black will play like this and then check. There's no more moyo for you. So black needs to worry about it by protecting it, and then white will make a 2-space extension, and then once again black has no more moyo, and then this is just a leading game for white. So turns out that after this very crucial N14 turn here, black is in an awkward situation, I would say, right? Black is slightly behind in the game. And obviously you might be questioning, well, if it's so important, why can't we just push? The problem is you don't have time, right? Even if you get this Atari, you know, but your corner is dead, right? Like this is just not going to work out. This is a game over situation. So black wants to get this crucial point, but he doesn't have time, so white will get it, and this is a leading game for white. So you might be wondering, so what does black do at this point? First, I might just pause a little bit for you to remember this position. This is a this is a position where, you know, complex actions will happen from now on. So black will Atari, that's the correct move. But now black needs to fight. Black cannot give up this side. White will turn here, and obviously black needs to protect the corner. And now white will have this Atari. Black turns, and white turns. And black turns here to prevent the ladder. White will extend because mostly because the ladder works for white. So there's still no way to kill white. So it's frustrating, but black has to be patient and then extend over here. And now here comes the golden move, right? So if you now drag these group out and fight, that is possible, but after a couple pushes, you will feel the pressure as white immediately. So the best idea is to turn here. This is an excellent move. And when white jumps here, when black jumps here, white says, there you go, you killed me, but I'm going to play elsewhere. So if visually this could be shocking. Like, I mean, you might be looking at this position and be like, well, isn't this game over for white? Like, why is white still playing? But I will tell you in advance that this is actually slightly favorable position for white. And let's think about why, right? So a lot of times we look at our loss, right, and we magnify that, but we forgot the benefits that we got, right? So even let's say white does not approach here. Let's say white just plays the F16 move, which is a big move. This is pretty much white's territory, right? Because of how thick white is. Let's just say the reason being that white has sentes like this. This is also a sente, and then this is also a sente. So white has a lot of sentes that he can choose from. So white has a lot of values with this wall, but also with all the sentes that white has. So this is a slightly better position for white at this point. Definitely playable for both sides, but it could give, psychologically, it could give black the impression that this is game over, right? And then maybe you can make use of that that psychological factor, the fact that your opponent thinks he is leading by a lot when he is actually slightly behind. So very, very interesting variation. You know, and here I guess you can see the importance of sacrifices, right? Even if it looks like it's so miserable for white, but it's actually just fine, right? We just have, with this peep as our sente, this atari, this extension, this attach, all as our sente, we already have compensation. Our compensation obviously mostly come from our wall over here, but also a sente move is also our compensation, right? This move just comes in and start to split black's moyo. So this is a great position for white to be in, actually. And you can try it out in your game like this. All right, to quickly recap, today we look at this close to crazy looking move that is actually a legit, very hard to deal with trick. So we talk about backing down is not a great choice because white can be very efficient. Sacrificing the corner is also not going to be a great option because white will be leading in terms of territory. So black's correct defense is to hane. White makes use of the ladder and crosscuts. Black has a simple solution, that is to extend, and then we will reach an equal game like this, right? So remember to not atari here, although it looks really tempting. We will make a root over here, and then this is equal game moving on. And lastly, we look at the most complicated variation, at this point we will cut. We talk about why black should not play this one because white has this very nice extension, and then another extension, right? And then when white turns, we can enclose black like this. All right, so black connects, we will reach this position. Black is forced to kill the corner, and then we can play out this variation. And at this point exactly, we can go ahead and start playing somewhere else. That's an excellent position. That's an excellent position for white to be in because black's corner is really not as big, and we have a lot of compensations elsewhere. Hence, atari at the corner is not great. Black's correct choice is at this point atari on the outside. And we said why black should not look for this kind of settle. This kind of settlement is not great because not only white has a lot of value towards the left side, but it's hard for black to build anything here because of an invasion at R12 exactly. So this is the accurate invasion point for white. So black cannot look for simple settlement, so he needs to play complicated variations. White will turn here, and then black protects the corner, and these are all forced. And black turns, white extends, black extends. Here comes the most important move that makes this trick so great. That is for you to sacrifice, right? This idea of sacrificing something, very, very important in the game of Go. And now white is slightly leading, although still playable game for both sides. very, very easy for your opponent to falsely think that he is leading when he's not, right? So psychologically, this is also very, very tricky. So highly encourage you to play out today's trick. It is trick, but it's almost a Joseki, right? Because white, there's really not a great way to punish white when white plays like this. Excellent move for you to try out. It's fancy. It's great. It cannot be punished, and if it's the first time your opponent sees something like this, definitely very, very hard to deal with. Alright, try it out in your casual game. And also, if you have any questions about any of the branch variations, let me know below the video, right? Especially what you think about that very shocking looking sacrifice. Would you play that kind of sacrifice out in your game? And stuff like that. Any thoughts, you can comment below the video. Be more than glad to answer any of your questions. Alright, so don't forget to give a like and subscribe to my channel for more tricks like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time.